Hey, Sherry.
Hey, Cory.
How's it going, girl? So we got a lot going on today, huh?
I know. We're still in this quarantine. So,
I tell you, it's definitely been an interesting process, for someone who gets up every morning, goes into my office and kind of start building the day out accordingly. Yeah, this has been an interesting process to be working from home with a whole bunch of kids in the house and dogs and everybody else.
yes,
Definitely has been challenging, I'm sure.
yes. So what have you done? Have you like adapted your like daily routine from having
You
to
know what?
manage all this?
Yeah, it's really funny, and I was just telling my daughter this. Like, she said, "Dad, what time are you getting up tomorrow?" And it's been so weird because normally, like a crack of dawn, I'm up at 5 a.m. like a clockwork. Like no later than 5:15, like my body just naturally wakes up. But lately, I've been like sleeping until like 6:30, right? And I'm like, what is happening, right? So I
And
got to
you do realize
reschedule
somebody
my
is
whole
like
schedule.
no, you do realize somebody's like sleeping in till 6:30. Like that.
No, real talk, man. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, so like my whole hour and a half is missing that part where I do at 5 a.m. to 6 o'clock and so forth. So I'm having to reshift my whole schedule around a little bit to get my quality time in for myself and my personal development time and stuff like that. So it's been kind of weird, right? I don't like waking up to alarm clock. So that's something I will not do. So if my body is saying sleep to 6:30, I'm going, okay, I gotta sleep to 6:30, whatever that is. Man.
Yeah, I'm an alarm clock girl. That alarm has got to go off, and maybe in another life, another dimension, all of it. I am getting a real like ergonomic one with like the light glows, and because I am moving away from using my phone as my alarm clock because
That's
that.
the worst feeling when someone wakes you out of a sound sleep and it's like this instant loud noise. I'm just like, oh my God. So
I
for
had to
me,
think
I don't
about that.
like that. I don't like that experience at all. So I'm trying to just hang in there.
I gotta think about that. Well, first of all, if I don't, I'm not a morning person. So I'm a manufactured morning person. Like I get up because high achievers get up. So
I'm just trying to
but
say.
not because I'm naturally up in the morning. I really am not. I'm just not like I'm a night owl, and there's something about
I
that
kind of
late.
got that when I was getting a text message at 11:30 last night, and they just kept bombarding my phone up. And my babe was like, "Babe, who's that?" I was like, "It's Sherry." I was like, "Yeah, she's got
I
a
know.
brainstorm going right
I
now. That's all it is."
My mind literally turns on at like 11 whatever, and because it's so peaceful, like everything is finally shut down and I
Right.
can finally think. But I have made myself a morning person, but it's manufactured, it's not natural, it's not what I feel 100% comfortable with. But what I have found is that I've had to rearrange everything. Like, we talked about this, like doing the homeschooling. Like, I've had to reorder my entire day so that I maximize when he has his greatest willpower.
Right.
And then I just got to hoof it from like about, 12:30 until about midnight, which is jamming up my mornings. I'm accustomed to being up probably about 5 o'clock, about the same time. I'm up at
Really,
5.
usually I'm talking to you first thing in the morning
Yeah,
half
yeah,
the
yeah,
time,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're doing our
I'm up
stuff.
at
Yeah.
5. I'm up at 5. But lately, now that I'm staying up till midnight because I'm trying to make up for like the top half of the day around homeschooling, it's been real. It's been real. So this just maintaining discipline, it has really, like, I've really had to like kind of not cut myself a break, because then that feels like, why are you cutting yourself a break? No, go hard in the paint. And it's like, no, it's a lot of paint over here. We,
So,
I
so
need a
I,
little slack.
So I would probably say that this topic of this work, of this actual wealth habits is all around discipline, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Talking about one of our 7 principles, and one of those principles, it's going to be around discipline here, right? We're going to talk about
Yeah.
what we should be doing to make sure we're staying in the discipline, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
all
yes,
right,
yes.
I'm with that.
So here's my first question. Do you need to get up and get dressed? Or can you sit around the house and work in just your sweats?
What's my favorite saying? How you do anything is how you do everything. You already know the answer to that question. Like,
Yes.
I was sitting there saying to myself, right? I had a conversation with my son a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, look, we are having our normal 9 o'clock meeting at the kitchen table. just like if we were in a conference room, right? We're sitting there talking about our day and what we're working on and what got completed from the day before, what we're missing, what we're working on to get done for the course of the day. Like, we are still in work business mode. Just because our venue and our location has changed, the mindset has still got to be in the same game, right? Because here's the thing, right? If you think about it, right? If you let your body lax, and you start to fall off the game a little bit, let's say you don't get up and dress for the morning work, right? And you kind of stay in your pajamas, your mind starts to change a little bit, right? You start getting a little bit relaxed, a little more relaxed in the process. You start doing things a little less half-assed, kind of deal at that point. And you're not laser focused. At least that's what I believe. I think you come to work and you come to your homework exactly how you would if you're going out in the real world. And look, here's the other thing. I think the hardest process is the surrounding noise around you, right? This is where all the family and everybody comes in the house, and they think that you're at home so they can come and talk to you about everything at any given time, right? You're on the phone doing your meeting and so forth, and then, hey, Dad.
Right. This ain't
can I get a slice of your cake? Can I get a slice of your cake? I'm like, I'm on the phone. Okay, so there's a lot more distractions, is why I believe that you really have to stay disciplined in the process, just as if you were at work, man. And you gotta lay down the goal with your clients, right? With your staff and your people at home. You gotta let them know that we're still in work mode, right?
I love that. I need to point something out. How Cory said he got staff at home. I ain't got no staff. I have a staff of one.
Well, look, my staff happens to be my family right now. Okay? So everybody's on my payroll right now. Okay, so it is what it is. Okay, so we're trying to get our stimulus checks.
Right? Come on. So I think for me, the biggest thing in terms of discipline is the getting full on dress for sure. Right. Because I had a habit previously where working from home and I would just be real comfortable. And it was like, no, there's something I'm trying to create. So I'm going to need to
It's a habit.
Yeah, it's a habit. It really is. It's the habit.
It's funny because I think that this is the true test of entrepreneurship. And the reason why I say that, because this is what I think, right? Look, here's the thing.
Say that again. Okay, this is the true
test of entrepreneurship. Because here's why. If you think about it, most people who are, and I'll just use the term worker bees, right? They're used to going to work and they're getting a paycheck out there every 2 weeks, and they just go in and punch in the clock and come back home, and that's the routine, right? Rinse and repeat, right?
That's
it. An entrepreneur has to get up and kill what they eat. All right. Let me just say that.
If you don't kill,
you don't eat. That's the bottom line, right? So as an entrepreneur, even though our cycle and the things that we're doing now are somewhat different, the premise is still the same. We still got to go kill what we eat. Now, we instead of hunting with our bow and arrow, we got to break out the machete now, but we got to find the same way to go kill what we eat, right? And so I think entrepreneurs have got to keep themselves in the same mindset that you still got to produce. You still got to go make money. And the only way you can do that is you stay in that same zone that you are when you're walking into that office, set your environment up the same way you have at your office, set the dress attire the same way you have at your office, because that's the only way you stay in that same zone, to me. That's what I believe,
So let me ask you this. What do you do? How do you turn off at the end of the day? Or do you find that it's harder to turn off because you don't have that divide of leaving the office and going home?
Yeah, I think that comes down to just a discipline in yourself, right? And I think everyone's got to learn how to do that self-care that we talk about all the time, right? So I think, whenever your shutdown time it's still your same shutdown time. Lila and I were talking about it the other day, and being in the office, your home office, right? It's easier to keep working, right? Because you just got everything around, right? And you're just in the zone, right? You're doing what you're doing, right? Yep. But it's definitely important to know that if your shutdown day is normally 4:30, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, still shut down, because you need to do that so that you can give yourself the opportunity and the time for that self-care to re-energize and do something for yourself. One of the things that we were talking about, and I know you can relate to this, is that, Delilah works with our daughter on her homework while she's home for the evening times. At 4 o'clock, she's shutting down out of the office as if she was still at the corporate office, and she's driving home to go pick up our baby from school and take her home and start doing her homework, right? Same concept. So she's leaving out of the bedroom, going to the kitchen, husband, and she's spending time with my daughter, helping her with her homework. So the same discipline applies, right? So it's back to that same conversation that it's a mindset, and you got to stay in that zone.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you a question, because I know you've been doing something completely different, right? So now instead of dropping Jordan off and going to school, you got him all day long, and he's a toddler, right? So you're dealing with a whole nother level, right? So let's see how that works.
I had to tamp down the green-eyed monster. Like, he had somebody to help with the homework. So, all right. There's a stoicism thing. I read it last night that says basically fall in love with your fate. Like, it was talking about just like how you approach, a crisis. And it was like, you got to fall in love with your fate. So I've got to let go of the fact that all my friends have grown children and I don't. and fall in love with my fate, because it is what it is. But so I find it a little bit harder to just shut off. When we to shut off the day, because my work day is bisected by schoolwork and then my work. And, he's not at that age yet where he's self-directed. So that means that we're both sitting down and I'm coaching him on his assignments and making sure that he does it. And then sometimes he don't feel like doing it. And so what could take 30 minutes takes, 3 hours. And so pretty much real.
I get no work done today. Okay.
No. So generally, like, if I'm up by like 6:30, which is my normal time, I get my morning routine in, I get my specific things in that I do to like anchor myself for the day. And then at about 8 o'clock, he's up. 9 o'clock, we have breakfast every morning. And then by 10 o'clock, from 10 to like 12:30, I'm working on his assignments with him. And every day he's got, language arts, math, social studies, and science. Those are the 4 subjects. And so I'm working with him to like get those done. And then at 12:30, I shut him down and he goes and watches his videos. And then from 12:30 until, 8 o'clock, I'm working. Not 8 o'clock, about 7, I'm working. Then I get him dinner, ready for bed or whatever. And then once I put him in bed, then comes the next half of the work, which is from like 9 o'clock to like midnight. And that's wash, rinse, repeat. But it's for me, I find it a little bit harder because I miss those 3 hours that I got to like hand off to doing schoolwork. I don't know. It's been a little tough, but love your fate.
There you go. So, it's so funny because I get this question all the time. So, we talked about the discipline of this, right? But let's also talk a little bit about the new normal, right? Because it seems like this is the new normal for a while, right? We don't know how soon this is going to change, when the coronavirus is going to take its course and flatten out a little bit around the world and, move back to what we used to have as our normal, right? But now this is kind of where we're at, right? So
to that point, I had a conversation. I was interviewed today by a reporter in Thousand Oaks, just in terms of like church and how church is different in this season. And she was sharing that she really loves working like this. Like, she doesn't like having her movement constricted, but absent that part, she likes being able to just handle everything at home. And I feel the same way. Like, I don't miss being in an office. I don't miss that at all. I like handling everything. I'd like a bigger space. I'd like my home office to look like my office, but I don't necessarily need to be in an office separate and apart from my home. And I would bet that there are a lot of other people that feel that way. And maybe it depends on like your business or whatever, but I like this.
I'm trying to think how I feel about that, right? So I really like my office. Okay, I do. I'll be the first to say, but my office is my design, right? So I mean everything from the hardwood floors to glass inlay with our etched in logos. Like I designed that baby. So that's my spot, right?
Your office is fabulous. I love when I get to work at EFC. Go ahead.
So I kind of like that, but I gotta admit, I do like what I've done to the home office. Like, it literally let me kind of be a little bit more creative, right? I ended up, found that I was sitting way too much, putting on way too much weight, sitting at this damn table all day, right? And I decided that I was going to start standing up more. The little Apple Watch tells
So
you.
are you at that standing up desk?
I am. I'm standing up right now. Exactly. So I'm standing up right now. This whole time we've been talking, yeah, I'm standing up. So it's kind of cool because
Well, I could stand. I've got my little thing, and I do like that.
Yeah, no, I do. And so it's got the little riser table to kind of stand up. And I like the feel of just kind of being up and talking, and it lets you project better, right? You got your body moving.
Kinetic.
Exactly. I'm thinking about getting one of those little standing tread machines, right? Where you can just kind of walk while you're just talking kind of deal. Because I'm like, I got to figure out how to lose some weight because I ain't going to and from the copier right now because the copier is under my desk, right? So I got to get some kind of activity out of this day, right? So, but yeah, so I don't know, man. The new norm, I guess, is kind of different, but I tell you the biggest challenge for us is, our business has been centered around speaking, right? That's what we do for a living.
Yeah.
Right? We speak and we go out and teach people what we teach them and get them hopefully excited enough to come in and meet with us and let us show them how we can help them, help them build their retirement planning aspects or their goals or whatever they're trying to accomplish in that process. And not having access to a venue where we can go and speak and have a crowd of people come in and meet with us, that's been a little bit of challenging. We kind of pivoted a little bit and started doing the webinars and the Zoom calls and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm getting the same connection that I was getting when we were doing it the way we used to do it, right? So that's been the challenge for us right now. And that kind of brings up a good topic that we should talk about just a little bit, is opportunities, right? There are new opportunities that if you can embrace this process and learn a way to kind of embrace it, you can turn it into a great opportunity to be able to put yourself in a better position than other people that are out there doing, right? So I think that's huge right now. So let's talk about opportunities a little bit, because I think there are people out there that are probably sitting there, like you said, I think you said it first, there are certain levels of people. Some people are burying their heads in the sand, don't want to hear anything that's going on. Some people are fearful and don't know what's happening and are trying to figure out what to do next, right? And then there are other people who are going, let's kill it. All right, I'm about to go do something
That's where I am.
And take it to another level, right?
Yes. There's a quote from Albert Einstein that says, in the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity.
Come on.
In the midst of every crisis. And so that's really, that honestly has been where my mind is. It has been on where is the opportunity? Like where is the need that I'm uniquely suited to meet, or not even uniquely suited? Where's the need that I am suited to meet, that I have the skill set, the know-how, the whatever to give to that group?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is, I don't know. I just feel like that it's like looking for that opportunity and taking advantage of that. And I think that I don't want to come out of this moment not having maxed out this moment. I would feel like I know what 2008 was for me, and I feel like I limped out of 2008. But I've done so much personal growth, so much development, so much like change. I bet not come out of 2020 not maximizing this moment like that. That would be failure.
Let me kind of dive in on that conversation, because you said something that I think that was an important statement, right? You said, let me look for the opportunity, right? And find out what that opportunity is. I think
that's why you were that's why you were getting text messages. That's why
you should create the opportunity, right? Because that's the difference, right? Because here's the thing, right? As we're looking around trying to figure out what we can do to make it happen, right? I think the true entrepreneur is like, I'm creating the opportunity.
Okay.
Because unlike 2008, like you said, a lot of people in 2008 got scared, a little fearful, didn't know what was happening, fell apart. They slept for a while. Then they finally woke up and everything kind of turned back around, right? I think right now, instead of us going out there and saying, hey, I'm looking for the opportunities that are out there, I think we need to create the opportunity, right?
All right.
Sit down and say, what do we need to do, and drive that out there so people are saying, hey, I heard from Cory and Sherri when they said, don't put your head in the sand. Don't stop right there. Let's create an opportunity, right? Let's get it. That's what we should be doing. Create the opportunity.
That is it. That is it right there. Okay, that's really it. That's really it. I appreciate that. I really do. Like that. That's really it. Is that if you don't find one, because there may be something that's like you stumble into. I always use the example of D Nice and some of the other folks that I'm like tracking on like Instagram or whatever. But if you don't stumble into it, go create that moment.
Go create it.
Like right now, you need to be creating opportunity. You need to be throwing everything up against the wall until you find a thing that sticks.
So here's how I look at it, right? I think when you do to yourself, you sit back and you look at yourself and you say, pick out a big whiteboard, right? And you write on the whiteboard, here I am. What are the things that I can do well, right? And what are the things that I can do exceptional? Right? And the things that I can do exceptional, how do I monetize that to become money and be able to pay my bills from that, right? There's a great book that's Jeff Walker, right? Talk about launch, right? I think that is the perfect epitome of what this market needs to have. So those of you who are listening to this conversation, go grab launch, right? I just made Jeff Walker $1 billion more that he didn't need, right? But anyway, go pick the book up, right?
Send that royalty check, Jeff.
Definitely, right? But I think honestly, that's what everyone should be doing right now, right? I was sitting there and I was talking to my I'm going to call her my daughter-in-law, right? Soon to be, right? And we were talking about what she could do to generate revenue, right? It's so funny when we started talking about it. And I said, go to Fiverr, right? Put a little ad up there, what you can do that you're good at. She decided that she was going to do lesson plans. And now she's got people pitching her on getting lesson plans done, because a lot of our home people that are parents that don't know what the hell to do with their kids, right? They're trying to figure out how to keep them busy and doing a proper coursework that they need to do. Lesson plans, right? Just like a teacher would do, right? And now she's getting paid to create lesson plans for other people. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Be in the position to create your opportunity.
Create the opportunity.
Game over.
That's it.
Let me drop the mic. All right.
That is it. But no, that's really it, Cory. That you said it. That's really it. That's really it.
You know,
that's really it. That you used to create this opportunity. And you're not waiting for it.
I think you can't, right? Because sometimes opportunities doesn't show up, or sometimes it shows up, but you don't know what you're looking for. You know, and sometimes you don't know what you don't know, right? So it can be staring you in the face, and you'd be like, huh? I think you and I had a conversation last night, right? And I said, Sherri, how many times this guy go see that boat, that helicopter, right? The person that walked past you and said the same thing before you decide what you want to do, right? Miss Sherri J, all right? So I'm just saying, right? Opportunity. I'm just saying. Don't go looking for it. You just create it, okay?
Create it. That's it. But that's it right there. That right there, that's the podcast, y'all. Create. No, for real. We started talking about discipline, but that right there is the money, is that you got to create the opportunity. And so you just decide and then take action. Make a plan and take action.
Yeah. And look, if we were going to simplify for those of you who are listening and just said, okay, well, how do I create the opportunity? I think you start off with simply, like I said before, start off with a piece of paper on the paper of your desk, right? And just write down all the things that you think you're really good at, right? Like I said, and then look at the things that you're exceptional at. Once you determine what those things that you're exceptional at, figure out how to monetize it, right? How do you go out there and get someone who is willing to pay you to do something that other people are not willing to do? Everyone has something that they hate doing, and they will pay somebody else to do it. My thing is, I hate paperwork. I will not do a piece of paperwork to save my life. I will pay an assistant to input stuff for me because I do not want to do it. So that is a task that I will pay someone for. So find out what that task is, and then use services like Fiverr, Upworks, and all these different companies that are out there where you can put your services out there and get paid from it, right from the comfort of your home, right? Now that you've gotten that down, once you got that down to a science, guess what? Now it's about scaling, right? How do I scale this? Because I can only do so much myself. Guess what? I may bring on 2 or 3 other people who want to do the same thing that I do, put them a part of my unit, a part of my team, create my teams out there, and now I'm delegating paperwork to them that they do, that they work for me, and I'm paying them, and now I got a team, right? I just built the system out, right, from that little simple conversation. Now, as it expands and grows, guess what? Time's getting harder. You expand with more people. Now you become international. And now guess what? I got a multi-million-dollar company because I started out from the comfort of my home because COVID virus would not let me go outside. And I now built out a business all from that opportunity that I created.
Yes.
That's the thought process, guys.
That's it.
Man, all right, I'm done. What else y'all need? Okay, I'm in the zone right now.
The question is, how can we turn a crisis into an opportunity? And he just answered that question. That's really.
Guys, I think that's where we need to be at right now, and because I say that even for myself. I think we need to start creating opportunities, whatever those opportunities are.
Yes.
And I'm talking to Sherri J right now. She hear me.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm like, after this podcast, we're about to have a conversation.
Well, Sherri, I mean, that's all I got, man. We talked about some discipline today. We talked about some of our principles and our processes. We talked about opportunities and creating opportunities. And hopefully this gave people a little bit of insight on what they could be doing right now. This new normal doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. And so you can't sit around with your head buried in the sand. You can't sit there trying to figure out things. You got to take action and make things happen.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, that's one more episode of Wealth Habits. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. We look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Other than that, Sherri, have a good night, girl. Take care.
Thank you. You too, Cory.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.